Well, I wanted to thank all of you for making it out tonight. I'm a big supporter of Mike. I think Mike is an absolute representative of what we really want the Republican Party that is going to soon become. We have to be really honest. The country is changing. We live in Fort Bend County, the most diverse county in the state of Texas. But if we take it to the macro level, we're the most diverse piece of land on the planet. And this can be the pinnacle point, the point for us to actually change the way the Republican Party takes the lead and we start taking back our country. I was actually talking to Mr. Kareem not too long. He's probably in the audience right now. We're talking about how important it is that we start taking a little bit more of a focus and leadership, and how do we keep Fort Bend County red. I just read an article the other day that Houston is the murder capital of the country right now. I want to know anybody in this room right now who is not concerned about that. I grew up in Chicago. 21 years old before I joined the Navy. I served my country for 21 years. I served in Afghanistan. I served in Iraq. I served in Bahrain. I served in Dubai. I served in Italy. That was more of a vacation. All right? But I can tell you something. Growing up in Chicago is not a good thing for any single family or any Christ-loving American for them to have their kids to be exposed to. After 20 years, I know that I don't want Fort Bend County to turn into the hellhole that I left in Illinois. You have to be involved. You cannot be scared to call yourself a Republican in front of other people, because as leaders in this room, we have to show other people that you're unafraid to call yourself a Republican. If we can get 40% of the minorities in this room to start voting Republican, guess what's going to happen? Even if Democrats cheat, they will never win another election. Never. Why do I support Mike Khan? Protecting our quality of life. We have to start thinking about what's important in our country. Muslim, Muslim, Buddhist, Hindu, Christian, Catholic. We all can get along. In this very community right now, we see it every day. We drive by each other. We say hi to each other. We respect each other. Why? Because we don't live in a place that doesn't give us the freedom for us to love our God the way we want to love our God. We are not here to judge. We are not here to tell anybody else that my God is better than your God, because in America, that's not the thing that exists. We all can coexist and live and raise our families the way that we want them to be raised. One day we will not be here. Our children will replace us, and they have to learn how to respect each other. Illegal immigration. I'm the first generation of my family born in the United States. I served my country for 21 years. Served in Afghanistan. I was awarded the Bronze Star for things that I did while I was out there. But you know what? My biggest thing for me is not that I served the country, but the country gave me more than I can possibly give it. I'm a business owner here in my community. I'm raising a family here. And like I said before, I grew up in Chicago, and I do not want Fort Bend to turn blue. Mike Khan can get us to that next step. How many of you have heard of J.C. Jatan? Really good friend of mine. I door knocked with that man. I went out with him, and I showed him that, you know what, if you're here to support my community, I'm going to be here to support you. I'm a firm believer, and I'm a good judge of character. After 21 years in the military, working with people from all over the country, trust me, I can see if somebody has their heart in the right place. Mike Khan does have his heart in the right place. As a business owner, what was the one thing that Donald Trump was able to do for our country in the last election? Well, as a president. He showed us that politicians do not give us the answer to our problems. Politicians, like Ronald Reagan said, only create more problems. We don't need more politicians. We need business owners and leaders in our community to go out there and represent us the way that we want to be represented. Not just because he's a Republican, but because us here in this room are going to hold him accountable if he doesn't do the job that we send him out into the Texas State House for him to do. And he knows that. We talked about this. He's the only guy that's actually gone out and reached out to people like myself, taking them out to lunch, and talking about what are the issues that we're worried about. We need more people that are not connected, that are not grifters, that are not looking to get into a position in order for them to make more money. There's a lot of business leaders in here already that the money is not the issue. The problem is safety. and who can get us that safety in order for us to live our lives and raise our families the way they need to be raised. Supporting law enforcement. Wow, that's a big one. How many of you have heard of the police officer incident that we just had this past week? It's a scary thing. I have many friends of mine that are police officers. I was going to be a police officer, but then I like making money a little bit more. But more importantly, it's like, as a veteran, there's a lot of people always going out there and supporting veterans. God bless veterans and everything else. To be honest, as a veteran, I can tell you, thank the police officer more than you support veterans that go out and fight wars somewhere else, because they're here fighting the war every day. When we sleep comfortably at night, police officers are keeping us safe. And Mike Khan is going to continue to support those officers the way they need to be supported by not defunding them. We spoke about that. If anything, we should give them a double raise. Protecting our tax dollars. How many of you think that our money is being misspent? I don't mind paying taxes. I think everybody needs to pay taxes, capital gains, income taxes. We need to go ahead and be a part of the solution. But when we don't have leaders that are going to go ahead and respect the dollars that we are giving them, $30 trillion is our national debt right now. As a wealth manager and a financial advisor, I can tell you one thing right now, that I'm trying to do everything that I can for my clients not to pay more in taxes. Why? Because we don't know how it's being spent. I spoke to Mike about this. Mike is a business owner. He understands this. Every single one of us want to be a part of the solution, but if we don't have people that are going to be accountable to how they pay their taxes, what's the point? Why would I give my money to a grifter that all they're going to do is help their friends out instead of taking care of the issues that we want to be taken care of? We have to be involved. Mike, thank you. Go out there and make sure that our money's being spent the right way. Last but not least, guys, I am not anti-vax. I have gotten my shot. I'm not getting a booster. A little about me, I grew up in Mexico. Well, I lived in Mexico for about 2 years. I didn't know how poor I was until I actually came back. But drinking pond water, I think other than a nuclear blast, I think I'm pretty much immune from everything. But I can tell you this, I still took the shot because I wanted to be responsible. And that was my choice. Not because somebody forced me to take a shot, but I just felt it was the right thing for me to do. But that being said, Mike is against forcing people to get a vaccination. Though I'm not anti-vax, I can tell you something. Every single one of us is free, living, breathing human beings, and Americans have the choice to do whatever we want, because this is the country that is still the beacon of light around the world. People come here, Democrats only make a threat of leaving. They never do. My family came here, and every single one in here, and I love seeing this room because I see the diversity that the Republican Party is growing into. Why? Because we're all conservatives, we believe in God, and we want our families to be raised right, and we love the freedoms in order for us to do what we need to do, in order for us to take this country into the next century. Everybody, thank you so much. I want to congratulate every single one of you for taking the stand, being brave enough and calling yourselves Republicans. Continue to do that, because this is going to continue to spread, and the more it spreads, the more people like Mike Khan are going to continue to run, so that they can continue to support us and our families here in our communities. Stay local. Don't listen to the news every single day, because the problems that we have here matter more than the macro stuff that's going on in D.C. What happens in D.C. doesn't matter to me. I want Mike to go as a state rep for 76, because I know that he's going to take care of the issues that we have here at home. One thing at a time. Mike Khan for state rep. Thank you so much. Have a great evening.